Silver! Away! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. During the Mexican War for Independence, the masked rider of the plains joined forces with the Black Caballero and the men of Juarez. Always ready to fight for the cause of justice, it was his courage and resourcefulness which finally brought victory to the arms of the Black Caballero and his comrades. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again. Come on, Silver! Shadow and the Black Caballero are waiting in the trail ahead. Hi-yo, Silver! Away! Poorly armed, disorganized, overwhelmed at first by the strength of the foreign troops brought to their country by Maximilian, the Mexicans in the territory around Santa Marta did little to defend their freedom. But when the Lone Ranger and the Black Caballero, leading a small but determined band of men, struck successfully at the invaders twice, volunteers by the hundreds flocked to join them.
Fight for Mexico and freedom, compadre.
Si, I and these my friends.
And this man, amigos. You are welcome.
I will fight, senor.
And I.
Viva Juarez! Viva Mexico!
Amigo, there are more who love Mexico and freedom, see? They join us by the score. Soon we will have an army, my friend.
Tell them to see Miguel. He'll take care of them.
Come, mi compadres. We go to...
Wait, Black Caballero. Send them alone. I want to speak to you.
But certainly. There is Miguel. You see him? He of the great mustachios and the fierce skull, eh? Go. Miguel will attend to you, my children. Go. And now?
You know what's happening, Black Caballero?
See. We have united my people as they've never been united before.
That part is good enough. But what about arms for them?
Huh?
Juarez sent us what he could spare, but we still haven't enough for a third of our men.
Diablo. Of that I never think.
In some ways, we were better off before.
Before?
Then there were few of us, but each was well armed. Being few, it was no trick to hide from the foreign army. But now it is different. We can't conceal numbers like these. When Maximilian's troops learn how poorly armed we are, they'll strike at once.
and everything we've done will be ruined.
You are right, amigo. Oh, always you were right. What is to be done?
That'll be up to Tonto and me.
You have something in mind, yeah?
Only that somewhere, somehow, there must be a solution. If there is, we'll find it.
That you have shown me before.
And it was time I left here anyhow.
You leave?
Not to cross the border, no. But to work alone. I remained because you needed me. But my mask is causing too much curiosity. When there are so many, you can't be sure that all can be trusted. My identity must remain hidden.
But I will see you again.
I won't be far away at any time, Black Caballero. Yes, we'll meet again.
Oh, here is Tonto.
I sent him for the horses.
Here, Silver.
Thanks, Kimasabi.
You leave at once?
At once.
Hasta la vista.
Come, Tonto. Adios. Adios, Silver.
Let's go.
Several days later, Squint and Dirk, who were in the employ of the Legion of Scouts, rode into the courtyard of the fort at Santa Marta.
There's Lafitte.
Yeah. Hi there, Major.
Oh, boy. We found him, Major.
What you heard weren't half of it. I'm telling you, they got enough men gathered together up there in the hills to send you skedaddling right out of here once they make up their minds to it.
So, you know their numbers?
Well, I'd kind of hate to make a guess, but that's where all the men folks able to carry a gun have been disappearing to from around here. Add them all up, and there's a plenty.
I see. Step inside, monsieur.
What's up?
I have work for you.
Work? When ain't you?
Be seated.
Thanks.
Now then, I suppose you believe this news you have brought me is bad.
Ain't it?
Don't get to underrating these Mexes, Major. Maybe they ain't trained like the men you got, and maybe they're kind of short on fancy uniforms. But when it comes to fighting, they'll teach you things you never knew before.
Perhaps.
No perhaps about it. It's so.
Permit me. It is not to what I referred. What I have in mind is simply this. They are assembling. As you say, every able-bodied man in this territory is joining this Black Caballero, as I understand he is called. If they are met and defeated, they have no reserves. This rebellion against the rightful authority of the Emperor Maximilian will be ended once and for all. You see? They risk everything on a single throw. It goes against them, they're finished.
And if you get overconfident, it's your finish.
Oh, I don't expect to challenge them with the garrison I have here.
What are you going to do?
You see this?
Sure.
I rather expected your report. That is why I prepared this in advance. It is a written request addressed to Colonel Corbet at La Rosa for reinforcements. All he can spare.
I get it.
There's a garrison at La Rosa with 3 times our strength. Things are quiet there. Colonel Corbet should be able to spare me all the troops I shall need.
When they get here, then you go after them Mexes and wipe them out, huh?
Just so. One moment while I sign this. There. That should do it. You, monsieur.
Me?
Oui. You have met Colonel Corbet. You are known to him. I am sending this message by you.
Me and Squint, huh?
Monsieur Squint will remain here. You will be in no danger. The trail to La Rosa is open. The rebels are concentrated in the other direction. You should have no trouble getting through.
Well, if you say so.
I do. Here, take it. Now then, get what supplies you will need. Saddle a fresh horse and a spare. I would expect you to leave in half an hour. I would expect your return with Colonel Corbet's answer within the week.
That'll take some traveling.
It can be done. On your way.
Right.
Remember, my friend, get those troops.
An hour later, not far from Santa Marta,
Quickly, Tonto. Behind those rocks.
Get him up, Scout.
Come on, Silver.
What matter?
Look behind you.
You see nothing?
He's hidden for the moment, then. Let's hope we're hidden before he gets into view.
Who, feller?
The scout they call Dirk.
Oh, him bad feller.
A renegade. Listen, Luke, he must
Oh, scout. Oh, feller. Oh.
Quiet, old boy. He shouldn't notice us here, Tonto.
There him come.
Been making good time.
We stop him?
Let him by. I'd like to know where he's going. There's nothing to the south but La Rosa.
Not right.
Quiet. Look there.
What he...
No. Wait until he's passed.
Get up there! Get up there! Get up, boys! Get up there! Get along there! Get up!
What you see?
I was looking at his saddlebags, Tonto.
Oh.
He wasn't going on any short journey. Those were supplies in his saddlebags. He had enough for several days.
You think him go La Rosa?
Where else?
Well,
And at La Rosa is stationed the biggest force of soldiers this side of Mexico City. Tonto, we're looking into this.
what we do?
If Dirk's headed for La Rosa, so are we. And if his errand is what I suspect, the Black Caballero must be told. Head to the east. We'll parallel his trail.
Get him up, Scout.
Come on, Silver. Come on!
In the meantime, the army of the Liberators, as the Black Caballero's countrymen call themselves, grew rapidly. Several thousand ragged, poor, but fiercely courageous men gathered in the hills where they were organized into a unit. At night, seated about their numerous campfires, they made the canyon walls echo with their high-spirited songs and laughter. And it was on such a night, 5 days later, that the Black Caballero heard a familiar voice. It came from the shadows behind him.
Black Caballero.
Huh? What's that? To me, amigo. It sounds like the Senor Lone Ranger.
Black Caballero. Here.
It is him. Pardon, Miguel. Si.
Amigo.
A word for you, friend.
Where have you been, amigo? So often I have thought of you and wondered.
Quickly, Black Caballero. This is important.
See?
Dirk went to La Rosa. He delivered a message to Colonel Corbet there. By now, Colonel Corbet himself will be leading his troops out of La Rosa to join forces here with Major Lafitte.
No.
It's true. Tonto and I followed Dirk. It isn't rumor. We heard the whole thing for ourselves.
But, amigo, it is ruin. What can I tell my compadres? Once this is known, it will mean the end. They will go back to their homes. How can I ask them to remain and fight against such odds?
Once those forces meet, you'll never have a chance.
Unless we can find the arms of which we spoke. Have you found a way, amigo? Is there a chance that my men can get the guns they need?
None.
See. It is as I thought.
Major Lafitte will never allow himself to be tricked again as he has been in the past. Otherwise, we might hope to seize the arms at the fort in Santa Marta.
I know.
But I've thought of something else, Black Caballero.
Huh?
Tonto and I rode swiftly. Colonel Corbet cannot be expected to reach Santa Marta for at least another week.
You mean we should attack now before he arrives?
No. Lafitte probably wonders why you don't. That's because he isn't aware how badly armed you are. And something else I had in mind.
What, amigo?
Colonel Corbet will not arrive for a week. Dirk will make better time. But it'll be at least another day or two before he returns.
And?
And I think if Tonto and I have a little talk with him before he reports to Major Lafitte, I'll have something to tell you that'll please you.
You cannot tell me now, no?
I won't raise your hopes, Black Caballero, until I'm certain.
Yep.
And in the meantime, no word of these reinforcements to your men.
But no.
Come on, Silver. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
The following night, 2 men waited beside the trail to Santa Marta.
You saw him, Tonto?
Him not far now.
We... Hear that?
He hear him.
If he doesn't halt when we command, fire, but over his head.
How to do it?
Here he comes.
Get up, boy! Get up there!
Now.
Get him up, Scout.
Come on, Silver. Rain up there! Rain up!
Out of my way!
Hey!
Whoa! Back, Silver!
Let go of them reins! Let go her out! The masked man!
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. After capturing Dirk, the Lone Ranger and Tonto rode to the encampment in the hills. While Tonto stood guard over Dirk, the masked man and the black caballero secretly conferred together. Just as dawn was breaking, they returned to the two waiting men and...
It's all right, Tonto. You can get some rest now. We'll take care of this fellow.
Me not tired?
You better get some sleep. I'll awaken you when you need it.
Oh, look here. What are you fellas going to do with me?
That, my friend, is what we've been discussing.
Huh?
First, we thought we might release you, Dirk, but we've changed our minds.
You're holding me prisoner?
Right.
But you... Hey, what are you doing with that there saddlebag?
It doesn't concern you.
Like fun it don't. That's my horse, and anything in them saddlebags belongs to me.
We're taking nothing.
Blasted crooks. It wouldn't surprise me none if you did.
But as a matter of fact, this horse doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the garrison at Santa Marta.
But just the
And I
same...
think we'll send it back.
Hey!
It'll get there by itself.
I've untied the horse, amigo.
Very well.
Now, hold on.
Get along there, fellow. Up, boy. You're free, old fellow. Off with you.
You sent my horse away.
You won't be needing one.
Blast
Quiet.
you.
Tie him up, Black Caballero, and see that he doesn't escape.
It was almost noon when a riderless horse trotted through the open gates of the fort at Santa Marta and headed for the stables. Squint, after leaving Major Lafitte's quarters, stopped dead in his tracks, stared open-mouthed, then whirled and burst into Lafitte's office without waiting to knock.
Major, come here, quick. Look there. Do you see what I see?
I do not comprehend, monsieur.
That horse standing there by the stables. That's Dirk's horse. Something's happened to him.
Sacre bleu.
Come on. Dirk wasn't never throwed. When a horse living could throw that hombre. The only thing could knock him from the saddle was a bullet.
Then you think he was shot?
I wish I knew. Hold still there. I gotta have a look at things.
What are you going to do?
Well, there's one thing sure.
Oui?
Whatever happened to Dirk, it weren't far from here. Most likely just a few miles out of town.
I do not see what you...
Anybody could figure that. His saddlebags are empty. If he'd figured on making another camp between wherever he was and here, why, he'd still have had grub with him.
That is clever, monsieur.
Scout's got to learn how to use his eyes.
I do not think, however, that he was wounded.
No?
The saddle. It is not stained.
Well, don't seem to be. Let's have a better look. Get around there. Get around, fella. That's it. Oh, boy. Hold there. Stand still.
Do you see anything?
No, nothing here. Maybe... Major, look at here.
Sacre bleu.
A letter.
Oui?
Look what Dirk done. Whoever got him, he figured they was after this.
You are right. It is the reply from Colonel Corbet.
Somehow, he melted the wax of this seal and used it to stick the letter to the inside of the saddle. Major, you sure got to hand it to him. He was keeping his head all right. He knew this had to get through, and he figured out the only way it could be done.
Incredible.
And that proves another thing, Major.
Oui?
If he was shot, he couldn't have been so awful bad hurt, or he'd never been able to do this. Maybe I'll find him yet.
And if you do, I shall see that he is rewarded.
Here, you want to read this. It ought to tell whether Corbet send them reinforcements or not.
Summon Captain Lesueur. Tell him to report to my quarters at once.
When Major Lafitte had read the communication and consulted with Captain Lesueur, the remaining officers of the garrison were summoned for a council of war. Seated about a table, they watched Major Lafitte gravely and...
There is no need to emphasize, gentlemen, that the information conveyed here is of the utmost importance.
Oui, Major.
It seems that Colonel Corbet has kept himself better informed than we have. Somehow he has learned that the force that follows the Black Caballero lacks arms, ammunition, suitable mounts. They are our superiors in numbers, but not in fighting effectiveness.
Major,
Captain,
you are convinced that information is correct?
it would not surprise me. That need not concern us, however. Colonel Corbet is the ranking officer in this territory. He has given us explicit instructions, and as soldiers, our one duty is to obey.
Oui, Major.
Sir,
You have a question?
Colonel Corbet is not then sending the reinforcements you requested?
He is not. It is impossible. He writes that Juarez is descending upon La Rosa from the east. A major engagement is preparing there.
Oui.
He can spare no one. In fact, it is we who must go to his aid. His scouts have learned that this force organized by the Black Caballero is already on the march and will attempt to join Juarez.
That would be disastrous.
It would. Our task, therefore, is to intercept the Black Caballero and destroy his column before it can unite with that of Juarez. That will rid us of a major threat, leave us free to flank Juarez, while Colonel Corbet defends La Rosa.
But the Black Caballero, where is he?
If the information in this communication is correct, he and his men should be somewhere to the south of us.
On the road to La Rosa. Then they had the start of us, sir.
But we know that their mounts are poor. We shall proceed by forced marches. We should have no difficulty overtaking them. We shall plan to come upon them by night and take them by surprise.
Oui, Major.
No other questions, gentlemen? Very well. Captain Lesseur.
Yes, sir.
We march within the hour. That is all.
Within the hour, as Major Lafitte had commanded, the garrison had been assembled, given its orders, and let out of the fort. But they did not leave Santa Marta unobserved. 2 horsemen watched from the crest of a nearby hill, and...
There they go, Tonto. Now everything depends on us. We play our parts well, Kimosabe. The Legion will be out of this territory once and for all.
That'd be good.
They believe they're following the Black Caballero. Instead, he is following them. Major Lafitte does not know that Colonel Corbet has sent reinforcements. He thinks that Corbet is keeping his force intact at La Rosa to beat off a threat from Juarez.
That's right.
Lafitte and those reinforcements will meet on the trail. I think, Tonto, that at the same time they'll meet with a surprise they'll be a long time forgetting. Come, Tonto. We'll circle Lafitte and ride ahead.
Get him up, Scout.
Come on, Silver. Come on.
Proceeding at a steady trot, Major Lafitte's column stopped only when the horses needed rest. No camp was made the first night, but their pace the second day was slower. Lafitte, however, was confident.
That surprised me if we overtook them by nightfall.
We do not make camp, sir.
We rest a longer period at noon. The men may sleep. We make no camp until the enemy has been met.
Lafitte did not realize that the Black Caballero and the Army of the Liberators was behind and not ahead of him. It was matching the pace he set. It was never farther behind than was necessary to guard against discovery. The Black Caballero had detailed scouts to keep the enemy in sight, and at intervals these men made their reports.
Senor,
Yes, Ramon.
they continue, amigo. They are now where the trail make the big turn.
Excelente. And they have not yet discovered us, compadre?
No, senor.
They are big children. Soon it will be night again, and we shall approach closer. You have done well, Ramon. You may return.
See.
Courage, compadres. Soon the game will be in our hands.
Dusk came on, and then night. Neither Lafitte nor the Black Caballero halted. But ahead of both were the Lone Ranger and Tonto. Behind them, they could hear the Legion. Suddenly, before them, there appeared the scattered lights of an encampment.
Rein up, Tonto.
Hold, Scout. Hold.
The reinforcements.
And then make camp.
There comes Lafitte. Few minutes, and it'll be time for us to act.
That's right.
We'll wait until we're sure Lafitte sees the camp, but not long enough for him to discover the men camped there or Colonel Corbet's troops. Not a sound, Kimosabe, until I signal.
Major, ahead of us.
Yes.
The Black Caballero.
Column, halt!
We attack, sir?
Not until we know for sure those are the men we are hunting. Send men ahead to investigate, Captain. If they are not
It's
able...
the Legion! Come on, Hill! Get them up, Scout! The Legion! Wake up! They're coming! The Legion!
They're giving warning.
That was the masked man. His horse, I saw.
Attention! Sound the charge! That's the Black Caballero! We attack before they can gather their forces! The charge!
Convinced by the shouts of the masked man that they had met the enemy, Major Lafitte's command plunged down upon the encampment, firing at will to increase the confusion and shouting to encourage their fellows. Half-dressed men poured from their tents, ready to defend themselves. So swift was the encounter between the two forces, Major Lafitte did not realize he had ordered an attack upon his own reinforcements. When he finally sensed his mistake, a new force entered the conflict.
We've been tricked, men! We've been tricked!
Both Major Lafitte's command and that of Colonel Corbet were in complete confusion. The thrust of the Black Caballero's men was deadly and sure. The opposition held briefly, wavered, then broke in utter panic. With the surrender of their officers, they dropped their weapons, and the battle was over. The Lone Ranger and the Black Caballero surveyed the field.
Amigo,
Yes, Black Caballero?
perhaps, my friend, there will be more fighting. Perhaps even yet Maximiliano will attempt to hold on to the throne he has seized.
He cannot keep it.
No, but I think, amigo, that what we have done tonight because of you is the beginning of the end.
At least the foreigners have lost their foothold in this territory forever.
Juarez himself shall hear of what you have done.
Goodbye, Black Caballero.
You must leave.
To return to my own country. Come, Tonto.
You have your work to do. I have mine.
Adios.
Well, let's hope we're together soon again, my friend. Hasta la vista.
Hello, Silver!
Get 'em up, Scout.
Away!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
You've been listening to the OTR Gold Network. Find more classic radio at otrgold.com.